Do you believe in magic? Your magical child came into this world knowing that life is magical. What are your beliefs about magic? Do you feel giddy to watch Harry Potter and dream of attending Hogwarts, learning the secret teachings? Or do you feel that magic is evil and taboo? Magic and manifestation technologies have always existed. In this video, we will be exploring magic and manifestation. How to create magic in your life through the ancient technologies of the temples and mystery schools of ancient Egypt, Rome, and Greece, manifesting with magic. Our world is full of wonder and magic. I am Heaven Hope. Welcome to Conversations with Goddess. If this is your first time visiting our magical channel for the light in this part of the universe, you may want to consider subscribing and joining the global family of light. If you're magically drawn to the topics that we explore here, you know you are part of the global family of light. So why don't you just... We bring you guests and information for your elevation, your expansion, your evolution, your ascension. Do you know how to work with symbolic words, images, and rituals to create with creation itself? Isis was the Egyptian goddess of magic. On the show today, my guest is Isis, Indriya Minister, culture creator, Bridgebuilder, fireplace keeper of the Oracle clan, educator of Divination, ritual, Egyptian cosmology, founder of the Academy of Oracle Arts. Isis shares what she has learned along the way all over the world. Welcome to Conversations with Goddess Isis. Perfect that we would have Isis on a show about magic.
An honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
What brought you onto your magical path?
When I was 4.5 years old, my mom passed. I went through like a pretty long depression. And I feel like so much of my work into these mystery studies, to transpersonal psychology, to stargates, to earth wisdom tradition, to mystery school traditions, it's just been a huge part of my path, was and has been to, and always will be, to commune more with her. It really led me to studying all of these things.
Did you make contact with your mother?
Yeah, I talk to her all the time.
Awesome. How did you birth the Academy of Oracle Arts?
When I moved to Seattle, and I was really working with a lot of different mythology studies with Joseph Campbell and entheogens and different beings. Three of us got together, Michael, Manhan, Osiris, Indria, and I got together, and this crystal ball called the Oracle was gifted to us to start to work with. So we started working with this crystal ball, thus created the Oracle Gatherings, 10-year journey. And it was during that process, I got a vision of a school. Many years later, the school came into creation.
I would love for you to share as many great practices and takeaways as possible today. Pack it on. We can use it right now with all that's going on the planet. I'd love to read a quote. Every moment we are creating, always setting something into motion by the very act of being spirit in the body. Sometimes we are conscious and intentional of what we are creating. Sometimes we are manifesting without full awareness, and this is your subconscious mind at work. Let's discuss being conscious versus unconscious creators and the power of the subconscious mind. How do we access and communicate with the subconscious?
First and foremost, it's worth considering that we're never not creating. Even when we're still and we think we're not, we still are, because we are thinking. What we imagine that then becomes a thought, that then becomes a word, and then a deed, a habit, a behavior, a destiny that's called forward. The journey of conscious creation is really attuning to what we're imagining, what thoughts would then turn into thoughts that then become the word, and the whole line of manifestation. I feel like that's a really useful remembrance. And then in that way, well, how do we build this bridge between our subconscious mind, our conscious mind, and our superconscious? Well, liminal states really help with that. You know, sigil craft is a very powerful practice inspired by the Austin Osman Spare tradition. Is like, one example is like, let's say you have a word of intention or a prayer, and you distill that down through a process into a symbol. And then the symbol, you imbue life force energy through some sort of trance state, whether it's like meditation or Kundalini breath or jumping jacks or even orgasm. And you strengthen this sigil, this symbol that then becomes the bridge between your prayer that you set in motion in relationship to your subconscious and your conscious. Part of our greatest lesson is to focus, probably our greatest lesson in our human experience. Ritual helps to do this. And a lot of the old traditions on like, well, what is ritual? Is attuning the heart, the mind, the body, the spirit, the sound vibration, the feeling, the intention, the ritual gestures to then direct our creative energy for a particular reason and purpose. Manifesting for what? And this is where it's a really like helpful dialogue with all of our interior selves, our highest selves, maybe the side of ourselves that maybe didn't feel seen at some point, or the side of ourselves that feels like they're on a mission, and then the other side of ourselves that like maybe felt unworthiness. Part of the practice of ritual is to tune to what we're creating, what we want to create, and why. Has clear intent on behalf of a greater purpose and greater directive. I've been taught once that the subconscious moves sometimes way quicker than we're consciously aware of. Part of our work of like purification, ritual practices, healing modalities, neuro reprogramming, whatever style you like, is to clear away anything that's blocking from conscious creation in alignment with our subconscious to heal what we need to in terms of moving forward. A big part of our work is to do our personal work, to do the divine work transformation so that we can consciously create on behalf of creating more beauty for future generations in this life. Everything that we're doing sends a rippling effect. That's the other thing about being a creator. So we're constantly sending ripples. And oftentimes we're sending ripples far beyond what we could ever see. I'd like to help myself in my journey of remembrance, attuning to what ripples I'm allowing to affect me that then influence the ripples that I'm making. It's a big one. I find like, who we spend our time with, what we choose to do with our time, what are our priorities? What are our habits? What are our behaviors? Who are they with? And how much is that influencing us? And then how does that influence the ripple that we make? It's a big one.
Maybe we should set an alarm every hour, just checking in with ourselves. Like, what am I thinking and what am I creating unconsciously, and make it more conscious? What do you think of that?
It's not a bad idea.
What is the difference between magic with a C and magic with K, as in arcane magic?
But sometimes it's referencing maybe ceremonial magic in relation to the mystery teachings would be with the K. And then magic with the C has a more mythical expression. Now, that's not always the case. I mean, you see both ceremonial, ritual magic, and or theurgy. Sometimes you see with the K or the C. That's the distinction that I work with sometimes. But again, oftentimes the term magic, almost like ritual now, kind of references anything and everything that has some sort of whimsical feeling. Where in a lot of the traditions that I study in the sacred sciences, it's like a science, it's a practice. It's a very intricate practice to work with magic in a good way. And it's a lot of training that's involved to really do this kind of work in a way that's actually beneficial for our own hearts, minds, bodies, and spirits, and our relations. I like to look at the sacred sciences of becoming an instrument of magic itself, where so every act is a magical act.
I love uncovering hidden knowledge and secret practices that I have always known intuitively, and then to discover evidence in the sacred sciences, as well as modern day neuroscience to back it up. I love this. The role of a human is to be in co-creation with the divine. We are designed to be instruments of service. And it's important to ask, how is my vision in service to the web of relations? Please speak into that.
Rosemary Clark, The Sacred Magic of Ancient Egypt. I think she really writes it in a very clear way. Our job as humans is to consciously and coherently co-shape as humans with the natural world and the divine world. And in that conscious, coherent co-shaping, tuning into that, we create together. We're not doing it all by ourselves, because we're not doing it all by ourselves anyways. And so then we just wake up to the reality of co-shaping. And in that way, it opens up these interior oracular faculties. We start to be able to hear the intelligence of the natural world and the divine realm. And then we start to learn about the interdependent relationships and how to help each other out on behalf of making something that's of benefit to all relations.
Beautiful.
And this is where we tune into what our natural state is, to be of service. When we think of vocation, vocation is usually like a job that we get paid for specifically. Purpose is more in alignment with what we're born here to do. Divine directive is communing with the intelligence of the natural and divine realms to receive directives to fulfill what it is that we're born here to do in co-creation with them.
Let's review the most helpful practices to have in our spiritual toolkit. What are sigils? How do we create one? And how do we charge it?
Simple versions of the days of the week. Monday, moon day, the moon, for intuitive building work, dreaming work, astral work. Tuesday, Mars day. Mars could be about like action moving forward to generate the energy to move forward. In one example, there's much more to it than that, but just a few examples. Mercury, communication. Maybe you want to strengthen your voice, sing more, write. Maybe you want to write something, write your book. Jupiter would be Thursday. And let's say you want to study more, or you want to attune to mystery training and you want to expand your business, as an example. That would be a great day to build your sigil and to expand your business, as one example. Or strengthen your study, strengthen your training. Saturn, discipline. Saturn day, Saturday, really great time to do the discipline of crafting a sigil, as an example, or the discipline of empowering the sigil, or maybe that's a day where you have your regular yogic practice, or you want to create a discipline. You want to have a pattern that you're aligning with to then support your path moving forward, as an example. So much more Saturn. There's a couple things. And then Sunday is the sun.
Sigils are everywhere in these logos, in advertising and marketing. Only we are not conscious of them. They are influencing us. Examples of sigils are Mercury, Venus, Nike, yin yang sign, caduceus, Egyptian hieroglyphics. They're all sigils.
Sigils are symbols. They're glyphs. They're imagery that we make from our thoughts, our prayers, and our intention, or written form, into a symbol that then is really the distillation, the refined expression of the prayer that we then empower, give of our life force energy through some trance-inducing state to then build a bridge of that prayer, of that sigil, that symbol between our subconscious and our conscious. And then we empower it and we project it, and then we support its movement moving forward into the world.
Is this considered magic?
Definitely a form of magic, for sure.
There's so much meaning associated with these symbols. It's profound. Can you give us some more examples of what you used as the jed in the center of a sigil that you are creating?
Your interior column, your jed, where the term Jedi comes from. One of the symbols, sigils that we see in the medical industry is the caduceus, where it's a symbol of that staff in the middle, the two serpents, and then the wings, right?
So many logos, like McDonald's and Target, various corporations use these logos, which are really sigils. They are in the field, immediately accessing our subconscious. That's kind of wild and scary. How does that impact us?
What we turn our attention to is what is influencing our lives and influencing the ripples that we make. I think first and foremost, that's really worth attuning to. I really do a lot of work with sigils. I think it's really valuable and really important. And I'm very much always learning how to strengthen my awareness around what I allow to enter into my system, whether it's through film, media, Instagram, relationships, symbols, what I buy, whatever. I'm always constantly learning about that, because again, what our priorities are that become our habits, that become our behavior, is connected to the destinies that we're calling forward. And it's an everyday thing.
We definitely need to pay attention, strengthen our awareness about what we are allowing into our consciousness.
All day, every day. And I think that's a big part of our journey of remembering our power.
Do you have some wisdom that you can share with people who are watching about how to navigate through these uncertain times?
Well, I mean, the first offering that I have here is to offer this idea of a consciousness of offering. The consciousness of offering can be the antidote to the extractive mind. The way that we've been programmed to extract, we can shift from that consciousness through tuning in to what it is to make an offering, or to be an offering, to make of life an offering. In that way, we step into this natural reciprocal realm of creation creating itself. And we start to give, and in that giving, we surrender and relax into receiving. We enter into reciprocity. And so in this time, attuning to what we can offer, what we can give, to also step us into what it is that is our divine purpose. And in a lot of ways, what could be our divine directive, where we start to attune to how creation wants to create itself through us consciously and coherently. And then I also want to offer the power of staying grounded, working with ritual gestures in our entire embodiment to bring heavenly realm and earthly realm together in the heart. And then we become the pillar, the central axis, the axis mundi of those relationships. What I've been taught with rituals is there is a series of practices that you consistently do that has an order, sequences. And then the more you do them consistently, it becomes something that you can do on your interior temple. You don't have to use your hands. This time of transition, so much activity, sometimes a lot of distraction. This simple practice is so useful.
For those of you watching, get up and do this. It's really powerful.
Downward facing triangle. Oftentimes that references water sometimes. And in this context, we're connecting to the root system, the base of the earth, inside the earth. So what you do is you inhale earth energy up. Exhale, palms facing down. Inhale, upward triangle. Exhale, down over the heart. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, elbows in. Inhale, left over right. Exhale, press in and ground thyself as a conduit for heaven and earth.
Beautiful.
Keeping the nervous system really calm.
Love that grounding exercise. I really felt it.
Feeling what we need to feel, all the emotions, energy and motion for sure. But then it's also staying grounded and keeping the nervous system calm, getting the help that you need so that we can make decisions from that place and we can be more attuned to what we're creating from that place.
I just did a show about how to strengthen the nervous system. Please share anything you have that we can add to our spiritual toolkit.
Making clear prayers and intentions with the water that you're going to drink. Purification and cleansing it's a regular thing. You know, you want to purify 5 minutes ago or maybe 10,000 years ago. But like this practice and simple things that we do every day, I share this a lot. You know, we are in communion with the water every day. And the water is a tool for cleansing and purifying. When we shower, when we bathe, when we wash our hands. And in that way, just through not only like our attention towards this being a purifying act, but then also utilizing the word and our ritual gestures, our hands, to consciously purify ourselves with the water. That is a very simple daily thing that we're already doing that we can just intentionalize even more. You know, we do this even with my son, you know, in the shower, we say, thank you to the holy water, and we soap ourselves and we say, I cleanse and purify myself with this holy water.
I have great love and respect for all the elements, but especially the water element.
Lon Milo Duquette says this amazing quote, we don't do magic, we become magicians, so all acts become magical acts.
It's beautiful. I actually think that we're all born magical as children. And the secret is to maintain that connection to creation and our higher selves and continue to co-create with the divine.
Tuning into that, we create together.
Thank you so much for sharing your sacred knowledge with us and the meaning associated with these symbols and sigils from the zodiac, literally to the meaning of each day of the week, Egyptian hieroglyphics. This has been such a fascinating conversation. I'm so grateful that we had the opportunity to have this conversation and have you come on and share all these incredibly rich and empowering practices. It has been such a fascinating conversation.
Thank you so much for hosting me and all the people you're hosting in this, you know, and helping to spread this work. Thank you so much. Just want to extend my gratitude that way.
Thank you so much for sharing all of these wonderful rituals and practices with us today. Now, if people are interested in your academy or your journeys, like the one to Egypt, where can people find you to find out about your offerings?
You can find me on the academyoforaclearts.com or Isis_Indria on Instagram. And we offer regular Egypt initiation journeys, pilgrimages. And for those that are interested in that work, you can look up the academyoforaclearts.com and look up journey section. We also have all different courses coming up through the Academy. And then the 9-month Oracle Arts Apprenticeship program starts next spring.
For those who have watched all the way to the end, Isis has a gift for you.
Yeah, I'm going to send a ritual PDF for everybody. You're welcome to have it. Preparation rituals, really simple ones you can do every day. And with, rituals, because there are a certain set of sequences that you repeat over time, the more you do it, the less you have to do it long term, because then you already know how to do it internally. And so you can be in the middle. I use this example a lot. You can be in the middle of an airport and you need to ground. You just close your eyes and you do the ritual gesture technique inside yourself. And then you continue forward.
It would be really lovely if you would close with a prayer.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much to the heart and spirit of this podcast, this channel, the heart and spirit of this channel. And in that way, say thank you to each and every one of our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our ancestors who have called us here together at this time. May everything that was shared here be useful, be helpful, be practical, be of great service, and in that way be beneficial to each and every one of us. And in that way, somehow in some way, may be an offering into the web of life on behalf of creating more liberation, more freedom for many different beings, human and non-human, to clear what needs to be cleared from the past at this time, make good offerings in the present for infinite generations into the future. All granted to you, blessed be, and so it is.
May this be for the highest good of the global family of light, our beloved Mother Gaia, and the entire cosmos and all of creation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you got great value out of the magical information that was transmitted today. If you got value out of it, make sure to give it a like, share it out, drop us a comment. And now I close with a blessing song from the Divine Mother. Songs and singing are like an incantation, sending out healing, vibrations, and blessings to the web of all relations. So please receive this blessing song from the Divine Mother. For all time you are loved, even more than you can know. And with each passing day of life, we watch you as you've grown to be more full of wisdom, radiant and divine. Oh, dear soul, you're a masterpiece, a heavenly design. So may the goddess bless you and keep you all aglow. And we wish you loving kindness